Hey everyone, Queen Kuli here. Just wanted to say hello. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, welcome in. My name is Queen Kuli. I have two video channels. One is Julie Saillant. That's my name. Can't talk. Given name. But Queen Kuli also was one that was given to me, and I am here to be your activator. My role on planet Earth is to help you find your gifts, activate you, get you in alignment, and then ready to start living your dream and your purpose, what you came here to do. And I talk to many clients all over the world, and they say the same thing quite a bit. If you'd like to work with me, all the information is below. You can do so one-on-one for sessions. You can also join the Brave Academy, and also a subscription site will be going up very shortly. So there are lots of ways to work with me. I work with heart-centered entrepreneurs and empaths, highly sensitive people. And most of the time, because I'm an 11, most of the time I understand exactly where you're coming from. Any number, but I would more so, I think the master numbers. And they're master numbers because they've been reincarnated the most. They've been here more than the others. So they're more than old souls. They are very advanced usually, and they're here to build and do things that others won't do. In other words, I'm an activator. I am here to motivate you and inspire you, but more than that, I am part of the 144,000. If you're part of the 144,000 as well, we are here to help protect the people, protect the planet, and also to give a voice to those that haven't awakened yet, okay? Or they just are starting, they're just kind of getting their feet wet with this, okay? Today, I want to talk to you about boundaries. And as a star seed, as a heart-centered entrepreneur, as a light worker, as a shaman, as a empath, as an HSP, right? Highly sensitive person, any of those, and anything else that you do or are that I didn't put a label on or shout out yet, because there are many. If you fall under that umbrella, you are someone who probably hates others, does not like to talk about things that are get other people upset. You would rather hurt yourself than hurt others, if you're a healer especially, and you hate discord. For people like us, because if we're healing or we're heart-centered, we can't stand it when people are upset with each other. So I am one of those people who avoids negativity as much as possible. We want harmony. We want everybody to like each other. Now, of course, that's not possible all the time. But within our world, within your world, within my world, right? We really, really, really do not like people who are aggressive, very negative, because that's not what we're about. And it upsets us because we're sensitive on a lot of different levels, right? From the outside in. So what does that look like? For you, you need to put up boundaries. And this has been coming up a lot for me personally in the last probably 2 weeks. And this is really important because if you don't put up boundaries, people will walk all over you and take advantage of you. They will take your light, they will take your gifts, they will take your swagger, they will take everything, and they will leave you an empty shell, and they will walk away and they will give crap about you. It can start out really small. It doesn't have to be hugely aggressive. So you need to set boundaries to protect yourself. Okay? This is something you can learn. I am still working through it, but I'm getting better and better at it. Now, boundaries, they can be good boundaries. I'm not talking about you need to have a warrant out and you can't be within 50 feet of me. I'm not talking about anything like that. Boundaries are usually there's healthy boundaries, right? Have you heard of that? That's what I'm talking about. So, in other words, people like me used to get a lot. They mistake my kindness for weakness, right? Because you're so giving, you're over giving. That's a hallmark of somebody who is struggling with worthiness, especially subconsciously, but we all still would want harmony, everybody get along. I don't want any fighting because it messes me up inside, right? But I'll give you an example here. I don't know if any of you have a dog or a cat, an animal, or a horse. Horses and dogs are trained very similarly. I have a horse and he's a big horse. He's 17. That means I'm pretty tall, but it takes me 3 steps to get on him, right? I could probably, I mean, I guess if it was an emergency, but normally I need a stepper. I can't be getting my leg up there and swinging myself over. He's too darn big. And, like I'm almost 5'8", but he's a big, big horse. Now, when I first got him, he wasn't mean, but horses and dogs are known for like trying to push the envelope, right? So give him an inch, he'll take a mile, that type of thing. So my horse would, when I'd lead him out, he'd kind of walk all over me. He'd step on my feet, he'd push me around. He wasn't mean. He wasn't mean to do. He's not mean, but he kind of will like do whatever he wants until you correct him, right? A lot of dogs are like that too. But what happening was he was really hurting me. Like if you step on me, you're gonna break my toe, probably. If you push me down, he can literally with his head, he can literally just go like this and I can fall down, right? Because they're so big and so strong. So I had to put a boundary down, right? To stop, don't walk on me. That's not acceptable. Don't push me around. It's not acceptable. I don't care if you're playing because you have to realize and teach him that you're bigger than I am. And sometimes, what you do, you think is small. For me, it's huge. You do the same thing with people because there are those out there that will, like I said, it's been coming up for me for a good week and a half now, that will use you, basically take your kindness for weakness. And what I mean by this, if you have your own business, let's just say you had a client and you were charging this client because they've been with you since the beginning, not very much compared to everyone else. And then they would say something like, I'm trying to see how they want me to say it. They don't follow through, let's put it that way, with what they need to do to make the contract valid, right? So they may owe you something, but they don't come through. But then you find out that they're using what would have been your fee for something else in their life to do, right? Then you would get upset because you're thinking to yourself, well, wait, I held at my end of the bargain. What's going on? There's a lot of different ways that people will come in and try to take from you. Like it could be monetarily, it could be your light, which is huge. And they could do so aggressively, but they'll also do it otherwise very underhandedly, right? And I'm not saying anything negative about any of my clients, about anyone that I know, whether I know them very intimately or just a little bit socially, nothing negative. It's all good, right? What I am saying is that you need sometimes to check people, even if they're just a friend, even if they're a family member, right? You hurt my feelings. Please don't do that again. Or this action does not help me, right? It gets me very upset. Or it gets them, it's, how do I say this? It gives them rope to do things they shouldn't be doing. So you teach people how to treat you. And if you're sensitive, you don't want to address this. It's a big fear. You don't want to go into it. You want to avoid it. Maybe it'll go away. But what happens is it gets worse and worse and worse. If somebody has tagged, let me just tell you this. If somebody has tagged you and taken your kindness for weakness, they don't look at you as having any strength at all. They look at you as being very weak. They can take whatever they want from you. And they're strong. And trust me when I tell you, that's not a good move to make with a lot of us that are sentient beings. Because we're kind, it doesn't mean we're weak. We're warriors. We've been through more on our own, transformation-wise, more challenges spiritually, physically, emotionally, than you could ever dream. and we've come through it. We are enlightened warriors. That's what we are. But I will be kind to you until it's time not to, right? Like as Post Malone says, I was more forgiving back in the beginning, not so much anymore. So what I'd like to suggest to you is if this is happening to you in your life or has happened, put up boundaries. Because people like us that are so kind, we think that putting a boundary down is mean. I could never do that. That's not right. It's not nice. You've got to do it. You've got to teach people what you will and won't accept. And trust me when I tell you, they'll respect you for it. Animals will respect you for it. They may not like it at first, but they'll get over it just fine. And what's the alternative? If you have a horse or a dog, you're gonna let them push you around, hurt you, right? Have to say, like if your dog's fighting, you're playing around, and then they nip you, you gotta be too hard. That's too hard. You hurt me. No. So they know the line. Okay, maybe I can like do this, but I can't, right? So I just want to encourage you to put down boundaries. That means expressing yourself fully. My Nana had come through and she said, to lead, you must learn boundaries. Be kind, yet still have your boundaries, just as teach. This is what you must learn and excel at. You think boundaries are mean, but they are much needed, right? You will be respected for this. This will cause harmony, believe it or not. It will end the discord. You are priceless. You are one of a kind, right? So to lead, you must learn boundaries. And remember, dear, she says, you cannot help all. Draw your boundaries and stick to them. So I hope this helped you guys. I know it's hard, but it's just like a muscle. And over time, once you keep doing it and you realize that it's there to help you and help them, and God, I'll tell you what, if they don't like it and they leave, it was meant to happen anyways. You already charted it. You already agreed to it. You already wrote it down for this lifetime. So I am on your side. I'm here to help you. If you need my help, email me, right? If you don't know what to do next, I offer a lot of different ways to work with me. And I just want to help you guys not suffer. And boundaries is something that you must learn to help yourself and to help people treat you with respect, not take your kindness for weakness, because it's really a jump. All right, guys, you are awesome. Keep shining, and I'm sending you lots of love. Thanks.